We're gonna go to the NFL now, and Justin Herbert, getting the biggest contract of all time for in the NFL at $268 million. If I read correctly, his cap hit, not this in that first year when the contract extension kicks in, is going to be worth $100 million. So,
Oh,
or maybe not his cap hit. That's how much. Sorry, that's how much money he's going to make in that first year. So I don't know if that's all the cap. That's not all the cap hit, but that's how much money he's going to make in that 1 year. So, Justin Herbert, overpaid, underpaid, paid properly.
holy crap. Can we just talk about this for a second? Uh, $262.5 million for 5 years. And wow. I mean, could you just, I'm sorry. I'm trying to just wrap my head around that number right now for a guy who we rank probably around 7 or 8 best
Five.
best quarterbacks. I mean, I'm not going to put him in. I mean, he's a top 10 guy, but I don't think he's a top 5 guy yet. I don't think he's proven himself to be a top 5 guy. Because what has he done in the playoffs yet?
I mean, he got a 28-0 lead before they forgot to run the
What?
ball. But
Yeah, when he then no longer could complete a pass after that. But I will also say that he's done what he's done with the most injuries I think I've seen from receivers, and that's impressive to say a lot too. But again, this kind of goes in the same category as Jalen Brown. First of all, congratulations, Justin. Let's not kid ourselves. Congratulations. But it does feel a little weird to be saying the biggest contract right now is going to Justin Herbert, a guy who we just had on a list of most pressure going into this season as a quarterback. So I do question the amount of money, especially when you have a guy like Austin Eckler there who you could pay. But yeah, again, like this is where it's going in the NFL. Get yours while you can. I don't disagree with anybody ever getting their bag. Let me be very clear about that. You get your bag, congratulations. But it does in some ways kind of feel a little weird that it's Justin Herbert we're talking about with this record breaking contract. But I imagine there's going to be guys coming up very soon to surpass this, and but so I don't feel as bad. But yeah, it does feel a little weird. But dude, I mean, I'm not going to say he's worth it yet, but if he can have a fully healthy season and he can have a team that's fully healthy, I think we can see the best Justin Herbert this year. And if he does what we think he can do, like what his talent shows he can do, then absolutely, I think he deserves this contract. You might
yeah,
even have underpaid him if you're LA at the end of the day if he performs that well.
193 million in guarantees as well. This is the third quarterback sign a huge deal after Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. Lamar's getting 52 salary, Jalen Hurts getting 51, Herbert getting 52 and a half. So looks like they basically just continue the trend of just getting over the top of it. Like we said too, we kind of talked about it when we did the guys under most pressure. It was under the impression he was going to get paid, which he just did, and you have a really good team around you, but they got to stay healthy. They're as injury prone as they get. Joey Bosa's got to start playing like he did a few years ago, not like he has the last couple of years. They got some work to do, but honestly, there's probably not if you're starting a team. If we're starting a team, Justin Herbert's probably fifth on the list of guys we grab when you
Yeah.
factor age, talents, and everything too. So it makes sense. And as you mentioned too, it's not going to last long of him being the highest paid guy because you know who's coming up next. Well, his fellow draft class mate Joe Burrow might be coming up next as well. They're in line. They're talking about his contract. They were basically it was more or less playing chicken between the agents who's going to sign first. Herbert signs first, and so Joe Burrow. We're going to try at this point. It's like trying to guess what's he going to sign for. My guess is it's going to probably be worth 265 million, just a little bit over that, probably 53 salary, something like that, maybe 200 in guarantees. Basically, Paycor. There's a reason it's called Paycor Stadium now because Paycor is going to pay a nice chunk of that contract. But I think Burrow's got to be next, and he's probably. I don't think they're going to go well past this. I don't think they're going to give him like a 300 million, and I don't think they're going to give him the Patrick Mahomes 10-year deal either, especially because I think he's actually older than Patrick, if I'm not mistaken, as well, too, or right around the same age. So
Same age, I think.
yeah. So I think he's going to get paid probably just a little bit more than Justin. But I don't think it's going to be spread over a 10-year deal like we saw with Patrick. Maybe they give him a 7-year deal, but I don't think they're going to spread it over 10 years.
So I do think they go over Justin's by a little. I'm not going to say a lot, but I do think we see about 15 million more. I do think this contract will approach the 270 mark. I'm talking easily like 275 probably even for Burrow, just to kind of ensure that would give him about I think 56 million a year type of contract. over 5 years, and I think that would ensure him his rightful spot as a top 3 paid quarterback for the next 2 to 3 years. I believe. I mean, I don't think there's any arguing and saying the fact that Joe Burrow is a top 3 quarterback right now. I mean, depending on who you're talking to, potentially top 2 guy. But I do think when you break it down, I think he's going to be paid a little bit more than even we expect, just because they want to ensure that he's not going to, like, in that 4th year be like, I'm not getting paid enough because there's 7 or 8 guys ahead of me. He's going to be like, I'm 5th on the list. That's okay. I'll keep paying, I'll keep playing my contract out type of conversation. I don't think there's anybody that's really going to surpass a lot more than what Burrow could make. And I think $56 million is, over 5 years is the minimum I expect him to get. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go 58 or 60 million a year, truthfully.
I am curious too if no good.
I'll say just because of the talent that's there with him, and also if they can figure out a way to back in that contract or offset that contract in ways. That way you can find a way to sign T. Higgins, find a way to sign Jamar Chase when his contract comes up. Try to find a way to get these younger guys contracts when you need them. So
that's gonna be my question too. Is if he does get paid more, I feel like T. Higgins is gone if they pay more. I don't know how you can keep him and Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase can get like 30 something million in a couple of years too. Joe Mixon is definitely gone next year as well. He's barely there now after taking a pay cut. Defense, you've already seen him lose pieces like Jesse Bates. So I am curious. It almost feels, I'm not going to say the Bengals window is closing, because as long as Joe Burrow's there, it's never closing. But I am curious how their team's going to restructure a little bit, because somebody's going to pay T. Higgins $100 million next year if he's out there. They're going to offer him a $100 million contract to go be their number 1 receiver. Like, there's a lot of teams that will do that. Like, you're not going to find 15 receivers better than him. So there's a lot of teams that will take him. So yes, I know you're one of them. So it would definitely.
I don't even have a team, but you know what? I'll figure out a way to take him. I don't care. I'll go sign a contract with some team as their GM, and he will be on my team within 5 seconds.
So that is where I'm really curious to see what they do with his contract as well. If it's going to go along the Justin Herbert, Lamar, those ones, or if they're going to give him almost that Patrick Mahomes deal where they maybe give him a stupid long one that's not a high salary, but has stupid amounts of random guarantees. Like, oh, you wore these colored cleats today, here's $1 million. So he still gets paid, but it's the weird pseudo guarantees.
The simple guarantees. Hey, you just have to play a quarter of a season for 4 straight years to make this bonus. Like, I could definitely see that being the case.
Like, oh, you started week 1, here's $1 million, like something like that. Like, just those weird, goofy guarantees, kind of like we see in Patrick's contract, that makes it worth so much, but at the same time doesn't completely toast the salary cap as much.